it's Hannah, and welcome back to my channel, or hi, hello if you're new here. If you're new here, hi, hello, and welcome. My name is Hannah. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out me and my channel if this is your first time viewing me. Hello and welcome. I am really excited to have you here today. So today I'm going to be showing y'all my everyday foundation and concealer routine, and I'm really excited about that. I would really quickly like to mention that I do change out my foundation that I use every day because I have become quite the foundation junkie this year. I have been testing out tons of different foundations here on my YouTube channel this year, and I have to say I'm gonna have to start thinking about what I want to put in my top 20 for my favorites this year, for my end of the year favorites, and it's gonna be really hard to pick a favorite foundation this year because I've tried so many amazing ones. But that is just something that I wanted to quickly touch on today, and I've also changed up my primer that I have been using as well. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this foundation routine. Alright, so before we begin out this little routine, I need to prime my skin. Now, priming your skin is very important to help your makeup last longer. So there are all different types of primers out there on the market. I personally, for me, I'm a bit of a primer snob, as I refer to myself. I really do not like any primers from the drugstore, hardly at all. There is one primer from the drugstore that I found that I really liked, and it's the e.l.f. matte primer. It's just in a light pink, baby pink bottle. I really like that primer because it does a really good job at mattifying my skin. I have very oily skin, as you may or may not can tell. I get pretty shiny on my nose. I get pretty shiny up around my forehead area, so I try to keep things as matte as possible just for my everyday routine. But I've fallen in love with this new primer, or I say new primer, it's an old primer, but it's a new favorite for me because I'm obsessed with Michaela over on TikTok. She does amazing makeup looks over there. She always raves about the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, so I decided to give it a try for myself, and I am hooked. So what I was trying to say about primers is whatever your skin type may be, whether you have dry skin, whether you have really oily skin like I do, etc. There are all different types of primers out there for you, but that's just the type of primer that I like, is a mattifying primer. This one isn't a super mattifying primer, but this is a really good primer for either skin tone because it's a gripping primer. It's really sticky, but it makes your makeup last all day long. And it is awesome to wear under a face mask because that's just our life at the moment. So this is just a little travel size, but I normally get a generous amount, and then I'll just kind of spread it out onto my face with my fingertips. Now, don't freak out. I wash my hands religiously, constantly, even before there was a pandemic. I believe you should always wash your hands no matter what you're doing. So I'm just going to pump a little bit of this out, and then I'm going to be spreading it out onto my face. Before we move on into my foundation routine, I just really quickly want to give y'all one more primer tip, and that is stay away from silicone-based primers. Those actually clog your pores. What clogging your pores will cause acne, so stay away from those, such as the Smashbox primers, things like that. This year I have learned a lot about primers and what to do and what not to do, so I definitely learned to stay away from the silicone-based ones. And another thing too that I would also like to mention is stay away from a primer that is scented, because scent will always irritate your face. So make sure that your primer is not scented or infused with any type of scent or anything like that, because it will irritate your face. And that's another reason why I like this Milk Hydro Grip Primer, is because this is scent free. It doesn't smell like anything, and it is really nice on the skin too. It also has kind of like a cooling effect. Alright, now we're going to move on to foundation. So the foundation that I'm using today is the Believe It Beauty foundation. This is a really good, nice foundation. This is a satin finish foundation. So just like with your primer, with figuring out your skin type and what you like and everything like that, you also need to figure out what you like for foundation. If you like full coverage, if you like medium coverage, if you like light coverage, there are all different types of coverage out there. Full coverage means that it just creates a blank canvas. So so you can't see any skin blemishes or you can't see any freckles or anything like that. So you need to figure out if you like that or if you like for your freckles to kind of peek through, but you still want a little bit more coverage. That's what a medium coverage foundation is. And if you like a light coverage, meaning that you want just a little hint of color, just even everything out, but you still want everything to peek through. So you need to figure out what you like. Took me a while to figure out what I like. I like a light coverage, and then I also like a full coverage. For day-to-day wear, I mostly will go for like a really light coverage look. But for today, I just want to use a full coverage foundation because we're going to be using a really cool product here in a minute, and I'm going to be demonstrating this product, which is why I wanted to go for a full coverage foundation. So this foundation is actually available at Dollar General, and it's only $5. I learned about this foundation from Paige Corrine here on YouTube. I always get confused about how to pronounce her last name, but she always raves about this foundation over on her YouTube channel, so I figured I would give it a try. Now, this is a skin finish foundation, so this is actually satin finish, so it's not a full-on matte, but it's still matte enough. It's not super glowy, it's not super illuminating. So I'm going to be applying the product with this little Miracle Complexion Sponge from Real Takes Cosmetics, but I'm going to be blending it out with a product. But I'm going to be using this really cool product right here. This is from Spin Science, and this is their automatic makeup brush. So this is really cool. This has 3 different speeds. It's just a brush right here at the top. It is a rechargeable brush, so it has a USB plug right here, and it also has a cord with it that I'll insert a clip of, so you can plug this into your iPhone charger or into a laptop, anything like that, anything that takes a USB plug to charge it. So it is a rechargeable brush, but it's really cool. It has this little button right here that you press, and it'll come on, and it'll spin. So this is the slowest speed. Then you can press it again, and it has kind of like a medium speed. And then you can press it once more, and it has a really, really fast speed. And then you just press it again, and it turns off. So the reason that I like this brush is because this actually gives me an airbrush finish. It does a really, really good job because the brush rotates at blending out the foundation. So this saves a lot of time putting on your foundation. This is $29, but this is completely worth it. Now, it's totally washable. You can remove the brush head right here off of the little thing, and then you can just brush it or just wash it, and then afterwards make sure it's dry. Don't get water into this little part right here, because I'm sure it probably could mess this part up in the future, the electronic part. But just be careful when you are washing it. It is a super soft brush, and it does such a really good job at blending out the foundation. So if you would like to purchase this brush, you can do so at the link below. You can go to spascience.com. This is $29, and I absolutely love this brush. It saves me so much time when doing my makeup, and thank you so much to Spa Science for sending over this product for me to review and to demo, and for sponsoring today's video. So let's go ahead and get into applying the foundation. I'm actually going to do one side of my face so that way y'all can see how the foundation looks after I use the brush. Alright, so as you probably can tell, there is a slight difference into this side and this side. And I have to say, I really, really like the way that my foundation looks every single time that I do use this product. It looks so beautiful and just so airbrushed and effortless on the skin. My skin looks super pretty, and it's super flawless every single time that I use this brush to blend out my makeup. So I'm going to hop off camera and do this other side, then we'll come back and we'll do concealer and we'll do a powder. Alright, now I'm going into concealer, and I'm going to be using the NYX HD Perfecting Concealer. I like this one because it has a tiny little applicator. I've been through this saga before here on my channel. I don't understand the trend for having a really big sponge tip applicator. I just don't think that that's necessary. I think that that's way too much concealer. You really don't need that much concealer anyway. You just need a tiny little dot on the inner corner of your eye. I also prefer to blend out my concealer with a sponge, so I'm going to be using the tip of my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge to apply the product. This sponge is clean. It's just really stained, so don't freak out and think I have a really dirty sponge, because I don't. It's just really stained, and I really need to get a new one. But anyway, I'm just going to be applying the concealer now, and this is in the shade Fair. Another thing that I prefer whenever I am purchasing a concealer is I prefer to get a concealer that is the same shade as my natural skin tone. I really don't think it looks super natural to go a shade lighter. I just feel like that makes your under eye look too bright and too awake. That really is only necessary if you're going to be having like photos taken, or if you're going to be doing a lot of videography. But honestly, though, I just feel like either way, it just looks more natural to have your concealer the same shade as your skin tone, because, like I said, I just don't think that's necessary. I don't think that looks super natural. And another thing, too, is I like to just apply the concealer to the inner corner just to brighten that little area. Now, if you feel like your under eye needs to be brightened, there are color correctors and things that you can buy to color correct and brighten the under eye area, but as far as concealer goes, I think I personally would just stick to buying one that is the same shade of my natural skin tone if I was you. Now we're going to be moving on to setting the under eye concealer in place. This is my favorite setting powder from the under eye. This is the Hard Candy Translucent Loose Setting Powder. This is from their Share Envy line. And I also like to use this brush to set my under eye with. It's just a little pointed brush. This came from Target. This is from their Up and Up brand. This is also a really good brush at applying the little under eye powder. So what I like to do is just pour a little bit of this into the cap and then set my under eye concealer with it. Now, I would like to go ahead and mention, I'm just going to take a little bit. I don't really need a whole lot. I would like to quickly mention that if your concealer creases throughout the day, don't panic. That is normal. That is natural. Everybody has creases under their eyes. That is just inedible. There is really nothing that you can do about that. That's just a natural thing. But you can prevent your concealer from cracking, and you can prevent your concealer from overly creasing, which is why you do powder the under eye concealer. That way you just set it in place. That way it doesn't overly crease. But I'm going to warn you that your concealer is probably nonetheless going to crease anyways, because, like I said, you have creases under your eyes. That is a normal thing. Another tip that I have is to make sure that you really do tap off your brush and you don't go overboard with the powder. And the reason for that being is because you don't want to look like a hot, cakey mess. So use a very thin layer of powder, as you probably could tell. I really tap off my brush before I go in and set, because I really don't want like a really thick layer of powder. I just want a very thin layer instead. Alrighty, y'all, so that is it for my everyday foundation routine. Now, like I mentioned earlier, if you are interested in trying out, or if you would like to purchase a product from Spa Science, all you have to do is check out the link down below in the description box. They have a ton of really cool, innovative products for makeup application and for skincare, which is really cool. All the products are very budget friendly, so they have very different ranging of price ranges. Now, you could check them out on their website, but you can also check them out at Walmart, Target, Walgreens. I believe that CVS is also one of their retailers as well. So you can find them at any of those retailers if you do not want to purchase them online. So yeah, I really do hope that you all did enjoy this video. Thank you, Spa Science, so much for sending me this brush and for sponsoring today's video. I've had a lot of fun doing this video for y'all and for trying out this product. It is a really cool product that I think a lot of people really need, especially if you have a lot of time that you need to save with your makeup application. As you just saw, this brush blended out my foundation effortlessly with absolutely hardly no time spent whatsoever. So yeah, I really hope that y'all did enjoy this video. If you did, then please give it a big thumbs up down below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button while you're down there as well, because I'm here for you with new videos every Thursday, Saturdays, and Mondays at 6 or 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can also give me a follow over on social media media as well, so that way you can keep up with me, you can keep tabs on me, and you can keep a lookout when I post and upload new videos. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you all in Thursday's video. Bye, my little unicorns.